Hey folks, it's Dr. Bowlby broadcasting you live and in person from station WFA 219 this morning, and I want to talk a little bit today, asynchronously, to you a little bit about another one of the tricks of the trade, shall we say, in composition and arranging. As I've indicated before, there is a very subtle difference sometimes between original composition and arranging or orchestration. I already talked to you a little bit about one trick of the trade that orchestrators and composers use quite a bit, is that there is a kind of, say, like a sectional drama in a piece, either whether it's original or whether it's an orchestration or an arrangement of a pre-existing piece, where different sections use different instruments in different ways, so that it doesn't remain entirely the same, and therefore very quickly become boring. So, and each section is a little bit different from the one that preceded it. Think back, for example, to that Boots Randolph wonderful version of Gentle on My Mind, how it started out with a few instruments and a low register saxophone. Next section is a few more instruments with a high register saxophone, etc., etc. And that kept building and changing and keeping the interest up throughout the entire arrangement. Okay, now today I want to talk a little bit about the idea of the ensemble, and subgroups. Want to make sure you guys can see this. That kind of looks reasonably seeable, so I'm going to assume that it is, because, and this is again, I have a marvelously wondrous grasp of the obvious at times, but it's and one of those times is exemplified in the following statement, or the question: how many subgroups are there in a group of 3 total items? Okay, how many different subgroups can you get out of a group with a total of 3 members? Okay, so like say so the whole ensemble or the whole group has 3 things in it. Right, so let's think of this as like 3 stringed instruments or 3 different instruments. So you've got a collection of 3 instruments that form a trio. Okay, and also, once again, my commanding grasp of the obvious is that in that 3 instrument ensemble, you also have 1, 2, 3 solos. So you've got 1 trio, you've got 3 solos, pardon me, sorry about that. That should be a one trio, 3 solos, but we also have a number of duos that we can imagine. For example, let's look at 1, 2, and 3. Extras 1, 2, and 3. You have the duo of instrument 1 and instrument 2. You also have the duo of instrument 2 and 3, and you also have the duo of 3 and instrument 3 and 1. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 1. I think that's it. So you also have 3 duos. Okay, at least 3 duets that you can have and exploit and utilize as you in your piece. Okay, so now this is all sort of so these things can all be used in your piece. Oh, in such a way, like maybe something like this, say like a section. Imagine you've got several sections in your piece. So, and you decide that if you want to use in each section, you want a solo. You want to use a different, the solos. You want to use the trio, right? As trio passages. And you also want to use at least one duo, right, in each section. So let's say a different soloist. Each section is going to have a different soloist. A different soloist. The trio, of course, that will stay the same because it's just those three instruments again. But but also what's possible, what's interesting, is that of the duos that are possible, you can have a duo that includes the main soloist and another instrument. And you can also have a duo in which there is the other two instruments besides the main soloist. Okay, so each of those sections have those possibilities for subgroups and rearrangings, if you will, of the total ensemble. So let's imagine. Oh, say like we've got, say our choices of instruments are as follows. Let's pick 3 wind instruments. How about a flute, a clarinet, and let's say a baritone saxophone. One section could have the bari sax as a solo, right? Bari sax solo, right? And the trio, of course, the FLT, CLT, those are abbreviations, by the way. Flute, clarinet, and the bari. That would be in the trio that you're going to use in this section. And you also have those 2 different duos. Oh, I don't know. Say, like, for example, of the 2 duos, you have the bari sax, and let's say the clarinet, right? Bari sax and clarinet. And also, the other duo would be the clarinet and the flute. So, duos. Okay, so that could possibly be the instrumentation that you could use for one section of your piece. Okay, so, and I want to close. So, this is worth thinking about, I think, and it derives partly from my experience of playing in a blues band with my brothers stepbrother one summer. See, the nice thing, there are two great things about musical instruments. And again, talk about the overwhelmingly wonderful grasp of the obvious that I have. Musical instruments can make sound, right? But musical instruments can also not make sound. So not everybody has to be playing all the time throughout a composition or throughout an arrangement. And as a matter of fact, for the wind instruments, it's preferable that they do have periods in which they're not playing, because otherwise they can't breathe, and if they can't breathe, well, they're going to die, right? And and I don't care how good an arrangement is, no player is going to be willing to play that if they think it's fatal. Sorry, Bolby, we're not. It's a great piece, but look, man, we can't breathe. We ain't playing it. That kind of thing. All right, so be thinking about those kinds of things. Be thinking about the different possibilities for trios, solos, duos, quartets, right, and ensembles, other varying combinations of the overall ensemble that you're dealing with to help create interest in your piece that you're trying to arrange. Okay, be thinking about that, and this will be up by Tuesday, and I'm expecting you to have seen it on Tuesday, if not before. And so that's part of Tuesday's lecture. The other part of the lecture, of course, is I want you to go and watch those 2 Orchestration 101 videos that I've put up on Blackboard under the Week 2's listening section. Okay? All right, that's it for now. Hope that was helpful, at least not entirely confusing, hopefully. And I'll chat with you soon. Bye for now.